excited to be here. My name is Jessica Anderson. I co-lead this group with my friend Penny Douglas. And
Hello.
we're excited to be here to do this whole um, homeschooling through the holidays and how we can actually spice up the holidays during this time. So before we jump in, this month in October, we are going to be talking about fall activities. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in on third on when is it? November, we're going to be focusing on Thanksgiving and activities we can do then. And then in December, we're going to focus on winter and Christmas activities. So we're excited about that. Now, we are using StreamYard. So you are welcome to comment and we'll see your comments. But if you want us to know who you are, you have to click that little link above or below. I'm not sure where it is. And give permission to Facebook to allow us to see your beautiful face and name. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can just type in and say, "Hi, it's Jenny," and then we know who it is. We are just going to Facebook user. So before we get started, we want to put a huge disclaimer, right, Penny?
Yes.
You do not have to or even try to do everything we're going to share with you. Okay, we're not even going to do that.
Nope.
Right. But we do want to share all these ideas to kind of spark curiosity and to be able to give you ideas that you can just think of and for your own family during the fall. Because we get stuck and we don't realize there's so much that we can cover in a way of like unit studies or lab books or just different things that we can do to spice up our homeschool. So if you are here, say hello in the comments, like and love our posts. We're tag your friends that are in the group so they know that we're live. And it gets Facebook to show this video more to everybody that's in the group, the more interaction we get. So, Penny, is there anything that you want to add about the disclaimer or you want to just jump in?
Yeah, I really launch off of other people's ideas a lot. So we put together lots of ideas. We brainstormed and we came up with all kinds of things to cover the different subjects. And when you start one unit study, you're going to come up and be covering lots of other things besides just apples or whatever. So it's really a great way to educate. And it's not just we're going to take a break from school and have some fun. It's school. So look at it that way and don't think, oh man, we didn't do our math today, when you did, because you were counting the apples or whatever. You're cutting them up into fractions or whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to remind everyone that it doesn't always have to come from books, the learning that we do.
A lot of it is hands-on. And in the the Love of Learning Challenge, we talked a lot about adding the senses. The more senses you add into a lesson, the more they're going to remember it.
Right.
So then, the visual, the kinesthetic, the touching, even tasting or hearing of things, whatever you're able to add in those unit studies or the activities, hands-on projects, they're going to remember and they're going to love that because it's the holidays. Everybody's gearing up, everybody's excited, about Thanksgiving and, fall festivals and all these fun things are happening. And, we also, as moms, we want to engage in those things. But in the back of our head, we're thinking, oh, we got to do the math. Oh, we got to do science. Oh, we got to do social studies. And we're not saying to neglect those things. You do what's best for your family. But we are saying to embrace the holidays and include those activities. And you're still going to have a wonderful time. Create those memories. Penny and I are really big on relationships. It is building those memories and those relationships with your children. That's what they're going to remember about homeschooling. Years down when they grow up, they're not going to remember much about the math that they worked on, right? Or if they diagrammed the grammar, they're not going to remember that.
I was pondering diagramming sentences the other day and I thought, is there any real reason for that?
I thought about that about 2 weeks ago because I did it in school and I'm like, I don't even do that when I write, you know?
Oh, I don't think, is that an adjective? Do I need to put an adjective here?
I know, right? But
Of course you put an adjective, you just do it, you know, you don't think about it. Anyway, I digress.
that's okay. So we're gonna come back right to the whole fall thing. So we have a huge list, and we're gonna be dropping links afterwards because it's gonna be kind of hard to grab links and put them in there now while we're chatting. But in regards to unit study ideas, Penny's going to share some, and then I'm going to jump in and share some, and then we're going to be jumping in because we have so much. And you might be thinking, well, this is probably just for little kids. And what about the bigger kids? Oh, we did not forget the bigger kids. This is like little ones all the way to high school. We got book recommendations and all that. So I'm super excited and can't wait to dive in. And we have some things that we can show you guys. So I'm going to have Penny jump in a little bit and talk about the different unit studies, and then I'll jump in and share a little bit more, and then we'll jump into everything else that we have.
Okay, well, a unit study to me is I usually go to the library, I get a bunch of books about whatever topic it is, and read those aloud, give some of them to the kids to read on their own, and we discuss the whatever the topic is together and what we're learning from the books. And also, I have them write something that they've learned about whatever the topic is, use lap books to go along with it. So for me, a unit study is just kind of everybody just diving in to whatever the subject is, whatever the topic is. And really, go ahead.
No, I just saw someone comment if there was going to be printables or do we take notes. You're welcome to take notes. We have a printable done, but we have to add a few more links in there, and it wasn't complete. So as soon as that's done, we'll drop it in the comments so you guys can grab it. But go ahead and take notes, because something that Penny or I may say will spark something in your head, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that. And we definitely don't want you to miss out on those things, because they might not be on our printable. The printable is just going to have what we're talking about, ideas, but it's not going to elaborate. The videos, we're elaborating in the video. Hopefully that's cool. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead, Penny.
Well, the first one unit study idea we came up with was apples. That's pretty common, and just like, but there's a lot to learn about apples. So I've done some unit studies on apples, and I've had the kids do the apple prints to go with it, and just talk about all the different kinds of apples there are. Go to the apple orchard and pick apples. So there's so many different things you can do. Bake an apple pie, and we have a wonderful book that goes with that theme. But then there's pumpkins too. And in the fall, of course, there's pumpkins everywhere, pumpkin spice and pumpkin lattes and all that stuff. But we can talk about pumpkins, and there's a lot. You can always, all of these have to do with science, with seeds and plants growing and all of that. And you can go off on all of those topics as you're talking about apples or pumpkins. Seasons is another one that's really good. And you can talk about fall, but then you can have them do art to go with all the 4 seasons, and you can just really launch off into all kinds of things talking about seasons. And leaves, of course, as they change color, and you can get into the science of that, the chlorophyll, the amount of sunlight and all that. And Columbus Day, that one can be controversial. Just do what's best. Am I frozen?
Yeah, you're better.
Okay. 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 There's a lot of art things you can do with that too, and just talk about America and the founding of America, or you can just get into how he found America, the first one, and then fall colors. There's a lot you can do with colors. You can do color mixing and all kinds of stuff with that. So those are kind of the obvious ones for fall.
And then you have, of course, the scarecrows, right? And you can do a unit study on scarecrows, learn about harvesting, right? And the purpose of scarecrows is not just for decoration. They have a place, they have a purpose. So you can talk about that. You can dive into a spider unit study, because now there's spiders everywhere for decoration and things like that. So you can go into the whole spider and learn about spiders and all the different species, and then that can go into geography because not all the spiders are found anywhere, so everywhere. So you can just dive in and include geography and history and science, and counting how many spiders, and is in this particular species how many eggs on an egg sac. So I mean, there's just so many things that you can do in a unit study, include all the subjects. You can go into bats, and you can get books on these on the library. Like right now, I have 2 books. This one is Bats at the Library. Now, I don't know if you guys have access to these Wonder Books. These are brand new at my library, and I saw it in another one too, and I was so excited to see them. And this is why. They read to your child, and it has all the sounds, it's really, really cool. And they have 2 modes. They have where they can read to your child, or they can interact. So they'll ask them questions of what they're reading, for comprehension, and it's really, really neat. So I was able to find Bats at the Library because I can do a unit study on bats. And who does not love Stella Luna? We love, love, love this picture book. It's beautiful. It's another Wonder book. If you don't have one, you don't need the Wonder book. I just wanted to mention it because you might have it at your library, and it's a neat thing. But Stella Luna is really beautiful, and you can go into learning about the different bats and all those different things, how they live, where they live, what do they eat, and all those different things. So bats is another one. Sunflowers. You see sunflowers too. You can learn about those and do a whole study on that. And I'll just throw this in because I did something with sunflowers one time. And why not? You can always do a random act of kindness. What we did is we got a bundle of sunflowers at the grocery store, and you can do it with any type of flower actually. And we went around and we wrote a little special note, and we went around to different places, restaurants, stores that we've been to, with people that we have interacted with, cashiers and things like that. And we just dropped and gave them a flower and said, I know you're doing your job, but we want to let you know that every time we come, you are just so kind and just so helpful. We wanted to say thank you. Just thank you for just doing that, and just being yourself and helping us feel welcome, and you don't feel annoyed when we're asking a question or anything. So that's showing like a random act of kindness, and you can do it now. Usually a lot of people wait for Christmas to do that, or even Thanksgiving, but we do it year round. And, why not start doing something like that as a family with your kiddos? So
That's great.
Yeah, the sunflowers reminded me of that. And they're huge. They're so beautiful. I just loved it. So we can learn about farms, how many people go and do the maze, the corn maze. I just did that 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, you can learn about that. You can do YouTube and watch videos on how they do the corn mazes. You can actually try to do something like that in your house or whatever, just like obstacle course or whatever. But you can get very creative. It doesn't have to be these specific things. You can come up with your own ideas.
Yeah.
So there's just so many. And then, of course, you can do, if you are an athlete and you love football, that's what's going on right now. You can do a football unit study on your favorite team, the history, how did it get started, and all this stuff that the kids can really enjoy. The older kids can write papers. They can get a biography on one of the players that they love and they want to learn more about. So there's just so many things. We have fall scavenger hunt, right, for nature study. We also have that you can do that, find the colors, find a squirrel, find acorn, find just different things that you can, what do you see out that's signs of fall, and then have the kids write it out. Or you can search online. There's a lot of freebies when it comes to that. And Penny has grabbed a few, a bunch of links of some fun fall activities that we'll be sharing later on when the live ends. But we can go into a whole lot of things. I'm just going to mention a few, like migration and weather and the forest. Learn about forest, the rotation of the earth because of the seasons and the changing of that. You can do a fall pie making party. You want to talk about that, Penny?
Well, that would be a lot of fun. Apple pie, pumpkin pie, and you get the baking and the science that comes with the measuring, the math that comes with measuring. So that would be so good to do, and have your kids help with the baking, and then you all get to eat them together.
Yeah. That sounds good. And then if you end up making a pie and it's not your favorite, you can just slice those pieces up and just pass them out. Give them to your neighbors. Go to the librarian. They don't mind getting those type of treats, and doing that. Having a baking party and then just going and delivering it to the fire station, the police department, and telling. Oh, even at the hospital, those nurses in the ICU and things like that, they really appreciate when we do things like that for them. They feel appreciated. So it's
Yeah.
just so many things that we can do. But those are some unit study ideas, and we didn't name them all either. So there's just so much.
There's more.
You want to hit the next topic, and then I'll jump in?
Well, I don't know if you've heard of sensory bins, but I've done a few of those, and those are fun. You just find different things that go with a theme, and you put them in the container, a pretty big container, so that the kids can play, and they put little toys and different things in there that also go with the theme. And it's a really good activity for especially ones who have sensory issues, and they can just really, and it builds their fine motor skills, their imagination. So for sensory bins, we had a few ideas. Caramel corn is something you could fill it with, and they can just feel the caramel corn, the texture of it and everything. Beans, all kinds of beans.
Welcome beans.
Seeds, they're small, so you have to, you don't want to get something that's really too small, but kind of have to watch that. And Indian corn, all the different colors of the Indian corn, you could put some of that in there. So those are a really good thing to do, especially for the little ones and for the ones with sensory issues where they really need to be touching and feeling things all the time.
Yeah. And don't think like, oh, these are just big kids like these too. No, they'll get in there and just start fooling around and playing too, because it's fun. It's the feeling of it, right? It's the texture, the digging into it, and it's smooth. Sometimes it's smoothing, it soothes you.
Yeah.
And for the little kids, if you're learning about apples, you can print out, little activities of apples and hide them in there with the letters, and they got to match and they got to dig into the sensory. So you can still include them in doing the theme overall. And that's why unit studies are great, because you can incorporate all the grades. All the grades could be incorporated in one particular unit study. So the sensory bins I went to Dollar Tree and I got all the different beans they had, and that's what I'm going to be doing. You can use any type of container. It doesn't have to be huge or big. It has to be, enough that you can put toys and put your hands in there. If you feel adventurous, you can use whipped cream. You can use rice, which can be really messy, but you can do rice. You can use salt. Also, you can have salt to write their letters and do things like that and play. And it can be snow for the winter, or that can be in the desert. So you have all these different things you can do with sensory.
You can use sand, and it's a sandbox.
Yes, you use sand. You can even use water. Doesn't necessarily have to be. You can do a water table.
They can float. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like boats.
They can see what floats and what doesn't.
Yes, do an experiment like that. Get them a little container, collect things that you don't mind getting wet, right? That can be cleaned and things like that. And then just have them experiment. Do you think this is going to float? Do you think this is going to sink? And then have them guess, and then they can even write down the little, little notebook, draw what happened, and we have a link with STEM activities that we'll be sharing later too.
Yeah.
So those are sensory bins. You can use all sorts of stuff. You can use shells. You can use rocks from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Use dirt. Go outside and get dirt. And just put
little gems, those little gemstone things.
Gemstones. You can use the little gemstones. There's just so much you can do with that. And then the next thing we have like activities, right? Decorate pumpkins. We got pumpkins and the kids wanted to decorate it. Got permanent markers and they went to town with the pumpkin. So you can do that, right? Candy apples. You can make your own candy apples. You can use leaves for art, right? Or sensory bottles. Those are really good too, that you can use glitter and put different things in it and just shake it up. It's really cool. There's a lot of different recipes and different ideas on Pinterest, or if you just Google sensory bottles, you have all these different ideas that come up. What else in regards to activities, Penny, that I may be missing? Oh, am I
What
missing
did you
anything?
say?
Activities? Is there anything else
Oh,
that we can do? Activities?
well, I have under other activities, family pictures. I like
Oh,
to
yeah.
get our family picture taken like now. So for Christmas, I can make Christmas cards out of them and send those to relatives and friends and stuff. So family pictures, and those make good pictures in the fall.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you
And
just remind, yeah, go ahead.
you go ahead.
Oh,
You
I
might
had,
not remember, and I've got this written down.
yeah, when you talked about making memories, you can do scrapbooking, of all the memories, of all the activities that you're doing with the kids, their artwork, take pictures of it, and then you can create your own yearbook for the year. Take pictures of all the activities and all the things that are coming, all the memories, all the field trips, and create your own yearbook. And then have them write, their favorite things and stuff like that. And then at the end, dedicate a page to each child and leave a message for them, on how proud you are and things like that. That just came to my mind right now.
A great idea.
Throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out, but
I love
I
that.
don't know myself. But yeah, I love that idea too. I'm gonna probably
Mm-hmm.
do it for my year this year. So yeah, it's just really fun. And if you have co-ops and things like that, take pictures of your friends and the activities that we're doing right now. And and then you can put it in your yearbook or in your scrapbook. Or if you're not very crafty, they also have those where you can create the books. I forgot what they call it. Shuttle flies. I don't remember the name of it. But there's companies that you can create picture books and have
Yeah.
them publish it, and they.
Butterfly.
Yes, I couldn't remember.
Mhm.
You can do that too. If you're, and that's kind of scrapbooking, but it's digital. If you prefer digital than doing all that crafty stuff. Not everybody's a crafty person, which is fine. But that's another option.
Yeah. Nature walks are another good activity, especially in the fall when I live in Texas, so nature walks in the summer are not a thing that we try to do. We would just melt. So this is the time. Well, it's still getting up to about 90 most days, but it's a lot better than what it was, and we can go out, and the humidity is not as bad. So going out and seeing, we don't really have the leaves. I don't really want to be here in the fall in any of the seasons. Really, I want to be in. You can go out and see the squirrels. We do have squirrels, and you go out and see nature, and take your nature notebook with you, your nature journal, and that's there you can learn so much from just going out there and taking a walk in the park. If you don't have like your own woods or anything, you can go to the park and you see the different animals there, and you see the plants, and you take your nature journal, and the kids can draw pictures and write about what they're seeing. You take your field guide with you and look up, what is this? or there's apps on the phone too that you can identify the leaves or the bugs or whatever, the insects. So nature walks are really good to do at this time of the year. You can have a fall party, and you just come up with things that have to do with the fall to decorate your table, and get the napkins that have the fall leaves on them, or pumpkins, or whatever kind of fall object that reminds you of fall, and read. Well, if you have a poetry tea time, which I think I have that on here too, you can read fall poems or fall stories at your poetry tea time that is fall themed, and you can read Squirrel Nutkin. That's in my list of books that you might want to read during this time. I've got a really good list of books for younger readers and for older ones. So we will probably go through some of those titles, but you can have a fun breakfast just to say, oh wow, it's fall. Let's have this breakfast with more of the yummy foods that we don't usually have time to fix to eat for breakfast. and just enjoy your time together. Making memories is what it's all about. And you can learn a lot from any of these things. We're always learning. And when we're learning together as a family, it's even better. And then you share those memories. You can go to the pumpkin patch, which I know Jessica did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fun thing to do. And the apple orchard, which we already mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some ideas. There's so many, but we're just sharing those just to give you ideas of what you can do. And maybe there's like a fall festival or something going on in your town that you can check out. So you can do that. There's just so many things in the fall. But like we said in the beginning, don't try to do it all. Just pick a few things. You can just sit down and do a fall bucket list and say, okay, guys, let's see what we want to do this fall and create memories, and have the kids involved. Because they'll let you know. And if they come up with 20 things, you can't do 20 things, then vote. Have a voting thing and have a vote with the family and see how it goes. And then you can talk about voting. Everything turns into an educational thing if you wanted to. Oh, man. But you can do lab books. There is a site which we're going to be dropping the links, homeschoolshare.com, which is amazing for unit studies and lab books. And it's free. You can just go in there. Some of the unit studies already done for you. They share you the links and all the things that you can use and download. The same thing with lab books is another way. If you have a crafty kid like I do, they don't mind the cutting and the gluing and researching and doing all those different things. So we'll be sharing that list of books. If you have it all here, all set up here.
And I got from the library that are good for now. Leaf by Leaf Autumn Poems. Yeah. And I just went through the list in my library on the website. Leaves Fall Down, learning about autumn leaves. This is real learning. They talk about how the leaves change and why they change, and some leaves are still holding on to the branches. This one is still green. So they get into all of the whys of how things happen. Leaves work hard all summer long. But why do trees lose their leaves? So I think that's a really good little teaching.
That looks like a good book.
Yeah. A Chill in the Air. Nature Poems for Fall and Winter. Mm-hmm. I was thinking of Poetry Tea Time when I picked it up. And First Food Fight This Fall and Other School Poems. And this is by Marilyn Singer. And the poem is really neat. She's a fun poet to read. So I got that mostly because it was by her. But we're going to do Poetry Tea Time. So I'm excited.
And that's good. And, one of the books that Penny had written for the older kids was The Call of the Wild by Jack London. And the kids can read those, the older kids, but you can also find them in picture books for the younger kids. So you are able to find some of the older kid books for the younger kids too. And you can use the interlibrary loan feature at the library. If your librarian doesn't have those books, you can actually request them and she'll get them for you from another library. So that's pretty neat. And then another thing that I saw here that I wanted to mention, okay, for the older kids, other ideas for unit studies and lab books that you can do, you can look up and learn about inventors. There is a website, which I think I have to find it, I'll share it in the link, that talks about every month they are inventors that were born, right? Their birthday. So you get to find out, like for the month of October, which explorers and inventors, missionary and scientists were actually born that month. And then you can do a study on them. So for the month of October, you can do a study on different explorers and inventors and things like that for the older kids. And that is something that they can do. They find the biography, they can look on YouTube and hear a documentary from them. There's just so many things to do because the older kids, they already can write, they can do so many different things on their own, and letting them pick an explorer or inventor or scientist or missionary to study for that month, and they get to pick, it's gonna be great. They're gonna love it. You can have them write or report on it or do a presentation, or or presentation. It doesn't even have to be written, or they can type up, something. So those are other things that they can focus on. Another thing that you guys can do is important events in history that happen in the month of October. So that's another, unit study, another thing you can do even for the older kids and include the little ones, because sometimes we don't think about that. But there's so many things that happen doing every month throughout the year and in history, that it's good to go back and listen and look and read, find audiobooks, biographies, documentaries on YouTube. Read, maybe there's a movie based on that particular scientist or that inventor or that missionary, and go deep and learn. Because when you're learning about biography, you're not only learning about that person or history and things like that, but you learn about their personality, their character, what type of person were they, and you can talk about all those things with your child, because these are real people. Did they make a change in the world? Did they do something impactful? Was it a positive impact? Was it a negative impact? So you can talk about all those different things when it comes to biography, right, Penny?
Right. I love those. I know of a site that has this day in history. I'll have
Ooh,
to look it up. I haven't looked at it in a while, but we can put that in the links too.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that you can do, and make it fun for this month and
Mhm.
November and December. And one of the things Penny and I were talking about and discussing is that when the holidays come, we have so many things thrown at us that we have to prepare. Some of us are traveling and preparing to travel. Others are organizing parties and get-togethers and different things like that. That makes it kind of difficult to continue with the lessons, that we had scheduled out or planned out. Especially when you're first starting a homeschool, you feel like, oh my goodness, everything just, is going against everything I have. But we want you guys to embrace the holidays and incorporate it, because it's going to make it more joyful, more peaceful in your home. And know that you're going to be able to catch up again in January, because when you try to squeeze everything, all the lessons and all the fun activities and the field trip and the family and blah, 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 all this stuff, you're
Yeah.
going to end up being stressed out.
Yeah.
And by January, you're burned out and you want to just give up. We've all been there. I'm just being straight and honest. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that to happen. We want to encourage you to say, you know what, it's okay. You still can have fun. You can still incorporate the holidays, and you can still get them to learn and do the things, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. You'll be able to get everything done, and enjoy the holidays, and don't feel like you missed out on things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that really does involve a lot of planning, and that's what our group is a lot about, is planning. So think ahead. That this is something really hard for me to do, but think ahead to what you're going to do for Thanksgiving, the kinds of foods that you want to have, and the traditions that you want. Like, the kids will help you remember. If you forget, oh, what did we do last year, your kids will remember. And that's what I have to depend on, because yeah. And so planning is going to help stop the anxiety and keep you from getting stressed out and keep you from not enjoying the holidays. So I just wanted to throw that little tip in there.
No, it's true. I totally agree with what you're saying. Think ahead.
Mm,
Write down your priorities. What is it that you want to do this holiday season? What's important for your family? What are your traditions? You don't have traditions? Start some with your kids. You
yes.
know, start some, because I remember growing up, I remember my family's traditions, and I was like, oh, I got to do those. I got to do it because I always did it. But then I'm like, I can start my own traditions with my own children, and incorporate some new things. So just sit down and figure out what it is that you want to focus on, what's important for your family during this time. Because of everything that's going on around this world, we can't do everything, and we have a lot of stress already going on, that we definitely want you guys to still find joy during the holidays and still have peace regardless of all the noise that's out there. but doing what's best for your family. Every homeschool family is unique. There's not one homeschool family that's the same as someone else. It's just not. No matter the philosophy or the method that you use, we don't homeschool the same way. We might have the same beliefs, we don't homeschool the same way. And that's the beauty of homeschool. So
Exactly.
focus on what's important for you. Sit down, think ahead of November, think ahead for December, and know, okay, this are the things that are important to me, and I definitely want to incorporate your non-negotiables. Focus on your non-negotiables and let everything else fall to the wayside because it's okay. As long as you have what's important to you and you get those things done, then that's it. That's what that then you did and accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. And that's why we're here to support you in that. And whatever it is that you have that's for your family that you feel the Lord calling you to do. So
Yeah, we got to keep mama happy.
yes. Right.
That affects everybody. Mama has to be happy. Make yourself happy. Do the things you like to do.
Yeah. If you're a
Yeah.
family that loves to bake,
Out of all these ideas that we're going to be offering to you, look through and like, oh, I can do that. That's not too hard. Or I have the stuff to do that. And oh, I really want to do that. I love to paint, or I love to use pastels, or whatever. And whatever it is that you love to do and you know your kids will like too, that's what you need to do, and not put too much pressure on yourself, make things difficult for yourself, because that's not what this is all about. We're not trying to load you up with more to do.
oh, no, we're not trying to add to your plate. That's the last thing we ever would want to do. That's not our intention. Our intention is to try to spark curiosity and just ideas on what to do if you're looking for these type of ideas. We're going to be dropping links on how to add music, fun music in your homeschool, art, chalk pastels. There's just so many things that you can do. We're going to be adding, because if you want to add art and music and do nature things, we're going to be adding all these different resources as well in the PDF that we're going to be giving you guys. All right. We went for almost 37 minutes. So we know you guys are busy and we want to make sure you're able to watch the video. So we try to make them as short as possible. So, Honey, if there's nothing else you want to add, then I think we can just wrap it up.
All right.
All right, ladies, we are excited that you joined us. If you're watching the replay, #replay, say hello, ask any questions that you have. We'll come back and comment and respond. You can comment or ask questions, and we'll be back in here responding and all those things. If you have friends that are in the group, tag them in the comments so they can see the video. We're excited to be doing this. We're going to be sharing other things in the group throughout this month and the rest of the month. And we might end up doing a spontaneous Facebook Live. You never know with Penny and I.
Never know. And then
Never
we're going to do this at the beginning of November too, and then again at the beginning of December. So you've got all that to look forward to.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff planned and excited about everything. So,
Yeah.
All right, we are excited and we hope this was helpful. Let us know if it was helpful. Let us know any activities that you guys been doing or planning to do. Share, because we also are looking for ideas too. And maybe another mom would love the idea that you had shared. We always have wisdom to share with each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies, have happy planning and have a wonderful rest of the week.
Bye.
Bye.